This very little and interesting car I have the absolute pleasure of driving today is the 1990 Honda Concerto EX. And it's a little baby four-door sedan co-developed by Honda and the Austin Rover Group, built mainly aimed towards European customers. And it was based on the fourth generation Honda Civic, the EF model, which I actually happened to do a review on the Drive Up channel last year actually. Concertos were produced in Japan beginning in 1988, and production in Britain began a year later in 1989. And in Japan, production ended in 1992, while in England it went till 1994. And these were actually named after the musical composition. Please, by all means, do not ask me what a concerto is in music. I couldn't carry a musical note if it was in a bucket. The Concerto was available as a hatchback, like this one, and a standard sedan. Now, the interior of the Concerto was mostly carried over from the 1987 Civic, with a low seating position and lots of very straight lines in the interior. Like around the gauge cluster, it's very just straight lines. The entire dash is literally flat, like it's a tray. The center control stack here, all straight lines. So you get the vibe that was going on. And this one does have only 90,000 miles on it, and it's actually pretty well optioned for what it is. You'd think this thing would be crank windows, no radio, basically the same thing as the Honda Civic EF that I drove a year ago. But no, this one has a sunroof, we have power mirrors, power heated mirrors, we have power windows, and a rear window defroster. And under the hood of the Concerto is the 1.6 liter single overhead cam and twin carbureted inline four-cylinder engine. And it produces a staggering 104-ish horsepower and around 90 foot-pounds of torque. It feels just a little bit quicker than 100 horsepower. And that engine sends its power to the front wheels through this 4-speed automatic transmission, and that propels the little Concerto to 60 in around 10 seconds. And it is fun to just zip around in this thing. It may only have barely over 100 horsepower, but it does only weigh around 2,600 pounds. So it is very fun to just zip around corners. It's so light, it's so small. But speaking of small, the interior doesn't feel as small as it should feel. With this sunroof and all of the glass, it's very airy in here. There's a lot of light. It feels much wider, much more open than it actually is. If it didn't have the sunroof or these big windows and lots of them, then it would feel a lot smaller and a lot more cramped in here. But I'm 6'5". There's, not oodles of room in here, leg room, but I'm definitely not uncomfortable. The person sitting behind me, though, they might be a little uncomfortable. Thank you guys very much for watching. I will catch you in the next one. Happy motoring.